It's a kind of the
It's a type of shoe.
magnet.
It's
Yeah,
a
shoe. And that is
they
the
wear.
reason that is called as the horseshoe magnet. So whenever you see the horses, they will have a kind of the metal structure. Actually, it is not metal. That is what? That's the kind of the magnet. Fine. And that is the reason they are called as the horseshoe magnet because they are getting it from the horses. And now what do they do? These horseshoe magnet, they will be taking it and then they will be making it into a different form like Neha said in the television. So what do they do? They can make it in the circle form, they can make it in the sphere form, any form they will be converting it in the factories. Okay. So then we have the cylindrical magnets also. Then we have the bar. Bar magnet is simple like rod-like structure we will have. So those bar magnets are there. So these are some of the examples of the artificial magnet. Now, talking about the natural magnet, they are irregular in shape. Like you cannot find it. Some will be, some will have the four spines, some does not have spines, some will be round, some will be very small, some will be very large, right? There are no fixed shape for the natural magnet. But for the artificial magnet, since we are preparing what we are doing, we are making it according to our wish, right? According to our wish, we are giving them the shape. According to our wish, we are giving them the size also. Like if I want, like in my pen, in the stylus, there should be only a tip of it, right? So what I'll be doing, I'll be in the factory making the tip of it, not more than that. I don't need any other magnet in this, right? So according to the need, what they are doing, they are converting them into that particular shape and the size. Like if I have this pencil, do I need the 1 kg of magnet to make this? No, right? So size also matters a lot. It depends upon the object, what we are making out of it. Right? So for the natural, there is no fixed shape or the size, but yes, for the artificial, we have the different shapes and the sizes of it. Fine. Then the natural magnets, they are made up of the rocks. These magnets are made up of the rocks, right? Where like magnetite, it was from the rock actually. Whereas the artificial magnet, they are made up of the iron, nickel, and cobalt. Clear? So these are the differences between the natural magnet and artificial. In the case of the natural magnet, they are created by the nature. In the case of the artificial, artificially the man has created it. Man has like made it. The natural magnets, they are the type of the rock, such as the magnetite, are the example of it. Then in the case of the artificial, bar magnet, horseshoe magnet, then cylindrical magnets are the examples of artificial magnet. Then in the case of natural one, they are irregular in the shape, whereas in the artificial, they have the fixed shape and the size, a different shape and the size. According to our will, we can do that. The natural magnets, we are getting them from the rock, whereas the artificial magnets, they are made up of the iron, nickel, and cobalt. Fine. So that is about the two types of the magnets, which are the natural and the artificial magnet. Fine. So let us write about them. Take out your copy. Is my screen visible?
No, ma'am.
No, okay, I need to share it again. Now is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, okay. So we will be starting with the difference between the magnetic and non-magnetic substances. So magnetic substances and non-magnetic substances. The first point these substances are attracted towards a magnet. So what do they do? Attracted towards a magnet. They get attracted towards a magnet easily. Whereas non-magnetic, these substances do not attract towards the magnet. This is the first difference. Then example, nickel, cobalt, and iron. Then here example, copper, brass, wood, rubber, these all are the non-magnetic substances. Road children? Yes, Neha, Bhavesh, and Adya, have you written it?
Mom, still writing it, the example.
Okay, okay. Okay, okay, write it, write
I'm done.
it. Okay. Let Neha and Adya also to complete. Now the next one are the types of the magnets. Types of magnets. Major two types are there. The natural magnets and then the artificial magnets. Natural magnets and artificial magnets. So talking about the differences between both. The natural one, the magnets that are created by the nature are called as natural magnets. They are called as natural magnets. Like the other name of the natural magnets are also the lodestone. So lodestone is the other name for the natural magnets. Whereas in the case of the artificial magnets, the magnets that are created by men are called as artificial magnets. That's called as artificial magnets. So the magnets that are created by nature are the natural magnet, which is also called as lodestone. Whereas artificial magnets, they are created by the men and then they are called as the artificial magnets. So let me complete the differences and then you can note it down. Then the next point is for the natural magnet, a certain type of rocks such as magnetite are the example of natural magnets. Whereas in this case of artificial, bar magnets, horse, horse, shoe magnet, and cylindrical magnets are the example of the artificial magnets. Are the example of artificial magnets. Then third difference, the natural magnets, they are present in irregular shape. So they do not have the fixed shape. Their shape is irregular. Whereas in the artificial, they are constructed in different shapes and sizes. So what we can do in different shapes and sizes, we can construct them. And the last difference is that they are made of rocks. They are made up of rocks. Whereas the artificial magnets, they are made up of iron, cobalt, and nickel. Understood, Neha, Bhavesh, and Adya, the differences?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So note this down now.
Ma'am, done.
Okay. Neha?
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Going to the next page. Adya, keep on writing these notes. Done this page?
Done, mom.
Mom, at the last point.
Okay, 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 write it.
Mom, done.
Okay.
Done, mom.
Okay.
Mom, done.
Okay. So now we'll go to the next one, which is about the pole of a magnet. So when we talk about the pole, we know very well how many poles do we have?
Two
Mom, two
poles.
poles.
Two poles, right? What are the names of those two poles?
Mom, north and
North
south
and
pole.
south.
Correct. So the two ends basically. So if I have a magnet here, so it has two ends, right? So north pole and the south pole. So the both the ends of the magnet has a pole. So one is named as the north pole and the south. The second one is named as the south pole. And these two together are called as a magnet poles. So the two ends of a magnet are known as magnet poles. So they are called as magnet poles. The second thing, like we have discussed in the last class about the force. So the force of the magnet is at the maximum level, is at the maximum level at the magnetic pole. So in the very easy language, what happens? The most of the magnetic force will be at the end of the pole, not at the center of the pole. So if the any kind of attraction is there, they will basically attract from these sides, from the, either the north one, either from the south one. So here the magnetic force will be high. So here the attraction will be high. And since on the side one, it is like the attraction is high, then what happened? Because of that, the force of magnet is minimum in the middle. So what we can conclude with this, that at the side or at the end of the magnet, at the end of the magnetic pole, the force is the maximum, whereas the force of a magnet the force of a magnet is minimum at the middle. So at the center, what happened? It is minimum in the middle. So in the middle, it will be less, whereas on the side one, it will be more. So it has the poles, two poles, which are called as the north pole. The side one is called north pole, and the south side one is called as the south pole. Fine. And in the last class, do you remember like we discussed like the North pole of the magnet will be facing the which pole? Will be facing the south geographical pole, right? Whereas the south will be facing the north
North
geographical
Pole.
Northern.
pole. Fine. So north will be facing the south geographical force and the south will be facing the north geographical forces. So that is about the pole of a magnet. So note this also down.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay.
Done, ma'am.
So understood, children, what I have taught you today about the magnetic and the non-magnetic substances, then about the natural and the artificial substances, what they are magnets they are, then about the poles, the North Pole, the South Pole, and how they are correlated. And now in the next class, we will be discussing about, just a minute. Ade, you want to see the first page? Because I did not read the chat. Just now I'm reading your chat. And either just get this problem resolved because I am not able to hear you. Either I think you have to get the headphone or something like that. So I'll share you might be the picture of that page, okay? So that you can write it. So Neha and Bhavesh, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, and the homework for today will be I'll be sharing your worksheet. In that worksheet, you have to read it, okay? It is given about the electromagnet. In the last class, we have discussed, like, about the one word which is related to the electromagnet. So, what is electro and what is magnet? We have discussed in the last class. So, I'll be sharing you a kind of the content. What you need to do, you have to read it, okay? You, after reading that, some 5 questions I'll be giving it to you in the form of MCQs as a worksheet. Those questions you need to do it. Fine. So just 5 questions are there. Those questions you will be solving it. Am I clear? So electromagnet, though we have to discuss the topic in detail, but I'm sharing you right away so that you can read it and understand it. Fine. And the upcoming classes will be learning in detail form, but right now you should also read it on your own so as to make it understand. Okay, Neha and Bhavesh.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, children, then we'll meet you in the next class. And if in case anytime you have any doubt, you can message and ask me for that.
welcome, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.